Hey, don't let it be said that we only put new up-and-comers on this show. We also go out and find the ones that are older than dirt.
And have nothing else to do.
We're so excited about a longtime friend of ours being on the show. He is our guy today, and we're thrilled to have him. Neal McCoy joins us in moments. So we've known this guy for about 100 years.
And now he's an Uber driver, and we've caught up with him.
Neal McCoy, dude, what are you doing?
I told y'all not to mention the Uber thing. It's tough out here, buddy. COVID, dude. Blame it on COVID.
Yeah, that's exactly. I blame everything on that.
That's right. How y'all doing, buddy?
Man, it's good to see you. I guess you just – did you decide to stop aging because you look the same as the last time we talked to you?
Well, no, I didn't. I don't know why I look so good. I get tired of it, too, because every once in a while I'll wake up in the morning and think I'm going to look in the mirror and it's going to look bad. It just hadn't happened yet, dude. I'm right there with it. Solid gold.
I'm a little jealous. Man, well, we're so excited to have you, and we thought we would. Let's start with this because I've really caught up officially like this in a while. How's it going, man? I mean, we know you're out there working it, and you got all these things happening. What's the story from the road with Neal McCoy?
Well, we're very fortunate, guys, and y'all seen us, so you kind of know our attitude in entertaining. We are still working as much as we've ever worked. I mean, we had as many dates last year as we've had in the last 3 or 4 years. We are just slammed, and I think the reason is I got this from Charlie Pride and just kind of watched around. He said when you're hitting the records, people are going to come see it. But now when you're not having the hits, are they still going to come see it? So make sure when you get a chance to be in front of them, you need to be as good as you can be, and then just treat everybody nice, from the caterers to the stagehands and all the way through. And that's what we've done. And now these fairs that are booking us 20 years ago or 25 years ago when we were having hits, they're looking for other guys that may not charge quite as much and still working. And we're top of the list because we were nice. And everybody says, we love working with Neal. And that right there is pretty simple.
Wow. That's you're right. It is such a simple thing, but so many people just don't take that to heart, I guess. And that's probably why we don't see it. There's people like you who are still working your butt off, and then there's some from the same time period who you never hear about. You don't see them.
Yeah.
I think that's very telling.
And plus they suck. Their singing sucks, so I'm glad they're gone.
We were just talking about you. We were just talking about you on a show the other day about Alabama bringing June Jam back, and I think that was the first time we ever saw you perform live. And we were just blown away because we were walking around seeing people and everything, and all of a sudden we heard back.
We were on Randy's bus.
Yeah, we heard Back in Black. And we're like, who is playing AC/DC? And we ran out there to see who it was. And
that was before it was cool to cover rock songs. You were doing
true.
it.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
It's funny.
Right. I would love to. I haven't got the invite yet to play that June Jam, but boy, we played it a whole bunch of years in a row, and it was the highlight of our career, just getting to go in there. Before we had a hit, before we had a bus, we were just there in a motorhome.
Yeah.
And we went out and stung them, and so I hope, I'm still waiting on the invite to get. I hope we can get there and be one of those acts to play that day.
Well, I'll tell you this. I shot a text to Heath and Randy that said, hey, we hope to MC this thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Heath immediately responded back. Randy's son responded back with, I just found out about this 30 minutes ago. So I don't think they're to the planning schedule yet.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was fresh off the press.
Yeah, for sure. But we're excited. I mean, because think about all the artists who were like you. You didn't even have a bus at that point. You were just getting rolling, and who now have had so much great success. If you guys all came back and played, it would be the ultimate lineup.
Well, I hope they don't screw this thing up and not bring back some of the folks that were there. I hope they don't load it up with all these new kids that are having hits and doing well. But you got to all this stuff. And again, I know I'm preaching to the choir, and that you've got to suck up, if you will, to some of these young kids in hopes that because you put them in there or you bring them here, that they'll remember you or it'll bring more people in. I mean, I love the new people. I love what they're doing, and I'm happy for them. But some of them need to work a little bit harder before they get all them big old breaks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, to have a career like yours where we're going to get you on The Voice as a judge.
Yeah, sure.
And I mean, think about all the accolades, hits, records you sold. You have a mullet that's in the Smithsonian. I mean.
Well, if it's not, it should be. I know that. Dang, that's probably one more thing.
Right next to Fonzie's jacket. It's pretty strong. So before we got on with you, we were just doing a quick little thing on Google. We're going to run 3 things. The first 3 things that come up when we Googled you, and Kris has them on his phone here.
Okay.
What is Neal McCoy's ethnicity? Say the word.
Ethnicity.
Thank you.
You put too many sisters
I'm making
in there.
up words.
You thought I was making my sister. Ethnicity. I get it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm from Alabama. If there's anybody doing that, that's me.
My ethnicity is I am half Texan and half Filipino, so I am the only full-blood Texapino in the country music business.
There you go.
Well, I just think it's hilarious that the first thing that comes up is that. It's like, who gives a damn? I can't believe that's the first thing that comes up. It's like it's such a. Although we all know race is the most important thing in the world.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Right now it is.
Obviously.
And I'm brown. I still can't get a leg up. I don't know what's going on. I thought this should be my shot. They're looking for, they need somebody a little taller, and man, it just ain't helped me.
Well, I was just going back to the voice thing. When we get you on the voice, you can kick these doors down.
Oh, for sure.
I guarantee the first door I'm going to kick down is the one that comes find y'all where I can hug and French kiss y'all for getting me on there. I'm just letting you know that.
Well, first of all, we got to challenge Blake Shelton, who's really done nothing useful with his life since we've known him.
Hey, that's the truth.
This could be his opportunity to do something good.
That's right. He could get a leg up and be remembered.
He's got to get behind this little thing.
I know.
Yes,
finally.
I know
exactly.
I'm sure y'all shared it, and I appreciate it. I'm sharing what y'all shared, so we're making a little noise now. In reality, will they even entertain the thought of me because I'm a little older than two or three of those judges put together that they have on there? But we've got a lot to offer.
But you know what?
What's that?
I was going to say, you have experience, and I saw on one of your Instagram or Facebook posts or something a while back where you were talking to a young and upcoming artist. You were just giving them some advice about don't give it too much on the mic. Let the mic do the work. And you were saying save your voice and this kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's the kind of things that it reminded me of Kenny Rogers. Anytime I was ever around Kenny and Tony too, he was always giving advice, either career advice or what to do on stage or whatever. And I was like, you would be so good on The Voice.
Man, I appreciate that. And I think it would be too. And I hope that if I could just get an interview in there, if I could just get in a room with the powers that be, I'm in a business. I sell a product, and that product is me, and nobody sells me like me. So that's all I'm on is just a chance to sit in the room with them, and I think I could maybe win them over. I try anyway.
Well, let's do this. We will take this piece of this interview, and we're putting it out there, and we're challenging every Voice fan that sees this and every Blake Shelton fan to see this to repost it.
I want to see Blake give it some love.
Yeah, he better. We'll come shoot his porch light out.
That one? He still got that,
yes.
that 50-watt soft wire.
Right out in front of his trailer.
Right in front of the trailer next to the washer and dryer on the front porch and the car up on blocks. It's all the same.
That joker, he is that Midas guy that I guess he can't do no wrong right now. He's pretty hot. But he deserves it, too.
No.
He deserves it.
He's the same as he was, just like you are. First time we met him, he hasn't changed.
Well, yeah, but he's had a reason to change. Me, I had no reason to change yet. But wait till I make y'all's voice. I'm never taking y'all's call again. I'm just telling you now. Just telling you.
Well, we're going to work on that. And also, we need to mention thank you for the Pledge of Allegiance every day. That is very cool. How long have you been doing that now?
Man, this morning I did the 2,596th day, and that's 7 years and a little over 1 month without missing a day. Crazy.
That's incredible. When we started in San Diego back in 1993, we started doing that every morning on the show. We went around to local schools and we got school kids to say the pledge, like classes of kids, and we would feature a school every week, and we did that for 10, 15 years in San Diego. So I mean, even though you stole our idea, we still think it's great that you're doing it.
You're going to keep on doing it as long as you can?
No, I've got a couple of schools I got to go do with in San Diego, and then that's it. I'm done.
Well, can we get a guarantee now that you will always do the pledge for America?
That's right. Yes.
You're not going to flip it up.
I am not, and I'm going to do the pledge, and I'm going to sing our national anthem that everybody knows right now. I just throwing that out there.
Okay,
excellent. So you're not going to try to rewrite it or add anything new?
No. That's exactly right.
Do some kind of remix or something. Okay.
No, remix. Oh my God, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty cool. Some kind of remix on the national anthem.
And you know as well as I do that we've all met some of these artists that probably are sitting there thinking, you know what, I've made a better version.
Yeah, that's right.
I could do this.
That's right. I can chunk 70 more notes in it.
Ridiculous. What did you think of Stapleton's version at the Super Bowl?
You know what? I think he did it very Chris Stapleton-like. Which is a left-handed compliment in that's that's how I figured he would sing it. Now, I'm still an old traditional, straight ahead, in case people want to sing with you. But I think he sang the fire out of it. He's just a great singer too. But I wish a little bit straighter could have been better for me. But he did it his style, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this, because I know you're never afraid to give opinions. Who are you liking these days? Like, who in country music are you listening to? Who do you think is doing a good job right now? Anybody?
You know, that's a tough question. I like Red Akins. Not Red Akins. What's his name?
Thomas Rhett.
Yeah, I knew there's brothers. I think. I like Thomas Rhett. I think Kane Brown does a pretty good job. I like.
Yeah.
In that he visits the old school also, even in his shows and stuff, and I think that's pretty cool to pay homage to even the guys that came before me, to the real guys. And you know, it's sad to say, guy, I just don't listen to country music that much to even know really what's going on in it. I know it's terrible.
I get it. Once we stopped with the radio thing, I just don't listen that much. I listen to what I have in my collection at home, but I'm not listening for a ton of new stuff. What do you listen to when you're sitting around the house or whatever? If you turn music on, what do you listen to?
Well, I officially got old because I listen to talk radio, and that lets you know.
Oh my God!
I know it. But that's just so I get pissed off at people that are stupid. You know, there's some stupid people out there, and when they say stupid, you got to be mad at them. I'm a Sinatra fan. Still a Sinatra fan. Still love Frank Sinatra and that whole Rat Pack kind.
Any chance you ever do a Sinatra tribute?
You know, I didn't do a Sinatra tribute, but I did an album of songs from what they call the Great American Songbook. It probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it is the name of it. You Don't Know Me, and it's fantastic. And I wanted to do it while I could still sing because there are some other folks that have been in the business like me and I'm listening to them a little closer, and they are really, really struggling. And before I started struggling, which was 5 or 6 years ago, I recorded that album. And now I'm glad I did because now I can't sing a lick.
That is the thing. I mean, having the ability to sing is a gift. And when you have, especially like I think Vince Gill's a good example. We had him on the show a few years ago, and I said, "Does it worry you?" Because it seems like tenors especially have a tough time when those high notes just kind of start going away just because you get older. And he said his words were. He goes, I still got it pretty good. It doesn't bother me. He says, I find that I have more trouble when I'm fatter. So I try not to stay so fat.
And I was just thinking about, Rachel taught me that Bon Jovi one night, she goes, oh yeah, he can't sing anymore. She goes, watch, she calls it singy talky.
Oh yeah.
But he was not singing. He was kind of just saying, you give love a bad name. And I was like, oh my goodness, you're right. Now every time I see him live, I'm like, he's not singing.
You give love a bad name. That's great.
Well, those rockers it's tough. I mean, like Def Leppard, Motley Crue, all the '80s heavy metal guys. I mean, most of them, not all of them, but most of them sound pretty crappy now because they just don't have those notes anymore. Yeah. And if I'm paying money to go see your concert, you better have a backing track or something that makes it sound decent. Because if I got to sit and listen to a guy sing off key for 2 hours, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be even more pissed than just listening to tracks. I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, put on a show and give me tracks. I'll take the show and the spectacle. I don't want to hear you sing off key for 2 hours.
Now you're passing. Before we let you go here in a minute or so, I want to make sure you're going to get a 4-star review by your passenger in the Uber ride, right?
Well,
you've got somebody in the car with you, right?
Yeah, I've got him. He's riding front seat with a gun on me. I don't know if it means anything, but I'm taking him wherever the hell he wants to go.
I wouldn't press hard for the review then.
Yeah, I was going to say, just let the review go. Probably write this one off. It'll probably be okay. Oh man, well, so we're going to get information in the description for all your stuff. But anything particular that you want to plug that we haven't talked about?
No, man, I really appreciate the plug on the voice. That's probably just a shot in the dark. In that, I'm sure when the voice even heard Blake Shelton say when they asked him the question of who you'd like to play, Neal McCoy, I'm sure they just started scrambling and having their minions just going back and finding encyclopedias. Paper book encyclopedias trying to remember who Neal McCoy is or find out who the hell he is.
Well, I just made us millions of dollars because here's what we're going to do. If for whatever reason Blake drops the ball and doesn't get you on The Voice.
Yes, sir.
What do we think about forming our own show called Old School, New School, where the old school guys coach new school kids coming up?
I'm on it. Count me in. Am I going to be one of the new ones or the old ones? Where do I fit in there?
Whichever one you want. Bring the mullet back. You can be the new one.
I can't bring it back. I better just go with the old guy.
Okay, well, that works too. Oh, man, it is so great to catch up with you, Neal, man. We really appreciate you taking the time. We know you're busy, and we're so happy that you're out there still just hustling, doing your thing, because you're one of our favorites.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Tony, Kris. Thank y'all. And thank you again for mentioning that Pledge of Allegiance. It's not only a big deal to me, but it's a lot of it's a big deal to a lot of people that know about it and follow us every day. Some of these people can't get out of their homes. You know, some of the older people, and they look forward to saying the Pledge of Allegiance. It's their daily thing that they look forward to. And when they tell me that, it just makes me feel good because we're all doing something together still, and just makes me feel relevant to everybody. So I appreciate that.
No, that's awesome, man. No, it's our pleasure. Well, thank you for doing it, man. We'll talk to you soon, and we'll let you know how the voice thing works out.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know.
All right, we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
All you gotta do is just give me that wing.